There's a cop who punches a woman inside of the police car who's handcuffed. He then gets fired and he sues the department because he says, no, they fired me because I'm black. I done seen it all. Here's the video.
I really didn't threaten him, but that's fine if you feel that I threatened him. I'll answer all your questions. Document your threat? Can you please document your threat? Because I never made a threat. Like, seriously? No, seriously. Okay, well, can Miss Shelby come confirm her threat? Because I did not make a threat.
Hey, man.
No, please talk to me, please. I did not make a threat. How are you going to arrest me and I did not make a threat?
What we're going to do is we're going to take you down to precinct.
How are you going to take me down to precinct and I didn't even make a threat?
I need you to calm down.
I'm calm.
You're not even trying to de-escalate here.
You're escalating this by... Bitch!
You kicked me! Kick me.
Because you... It's cool.
If you continue to watch that video, she clearly says, I did not kick you. She was insinuating she made no physical contact with the officer. Let's put up a picture of what happened to her. Let's put her picture up. Her name is Miss Bosley. Okay. Her face was actually fractured. She had multiple fractured bones in her face. She sued. The city actually settled with her for about $200,000. Let's put up a picture of the cop who was fired. His name is Officer Shepard. Officer Shepard says he was simply fired because he was black, not because he committed a violent act inside of the police cruiser. Here's what's ironic. He's probably right on both. He's probably right on both, okay? Because we've seen cops get away with doing things like that for doing worse, to be frank. So let's give some background to this. According to the Seattle Times, the former police officer Adley Shepard was terminated because he punched a handcuffed woman in the face in 2014. Shepard filed a lawsuit that alleges the Seattle Police Department was negligent in his training and supervision and unfair in his dismissal because he is black. But let me say this. This guy doesn't need to be a cop, all right? He doesn't need to be a police officer. What he did was completely uncalled for, should have never happened. The city has settled, he has been fired. He's damn lucky he's not getting a criminal charge. In another jurisdiction, he would likely be facing a criminal charge. In his lawsuit filing, Officer Shepard stated he threw the punch after he reacted to Ms. Bosley kicking him in the face, and that he did everything he could to de-escalate the situation that arose due to a tense domestic dispute between the woman and her partner. The lawsuit alleges that his firing was motivated by politics and public opinion. A video of the incident caused public outrage. O'Toole claimed that because of the video, she imposed punishment that went beyond what would be leveled in similar instances where questionable force was used. The lawsuit also states that aside from a 10-day suspension, Shepard had a clean record and that the decision amounted to an unfair one-strike termination in a use of force case. It ends by stating that other officers who are not African-American have been accused of similar questionable use of force incidents and were never terminated either before or since Shepard's incident. The argument is fascinating, okay? This guy is basically admitting in a lawsuit what he did was wrong. And he claims, well, I wasn't trained properly, I wasn't supervised properly, it's in the lawsuit. And other cops have done just as many wrong things as I did, but they kept their jobs because they're white and I'm fired because I'm black. Okay, yeah, maybe so, but you should be fired. I'm not saying that your colleagues should not be fired also or arrested for criminal charges. But here's what you do, Mr. Good Guy, since you're now the victim here, Mr. Police Officer. How about you go ahead and snitch on all the other cops that get away with violating citizens in this manner? How about you do that? Don't want to do that, do you? You didn't even name the cops in the lawsuit. You just said there are other police officers. Get the hell up out of here. They've already fired you. What you scared of? You're saying what the issue is. What are you afraid of? Huh? If you're gonna do it, brother, go all the way with it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's reflective of a pervasive sense of entitlement among many police officers around the country. Just we saw it in the Louisville story that you covered earlier. A sense that just one bad moment doesn't make me a bad cop or a bad guy. Well, it's the psychology you're bringing into it and the approach to whether it's a protester or whether it's somebody that you've stopped on the road. You have the sense of entitlement that one bad act where you break the orbital bone of a female, and you shouldn't be fired for that. Well, of course you should be fired for that. And as you say, why don't you just air out where the other dysfunction is in the department rather than trying to make excuses for yourself?
Yeah, very well said.